To be quite honest, I'm a true fan of J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter books. Harry Potter is a series of 7 novels written over a 10-year period from 1997 to 2007. I belong to the first Harry Potter generation. Some of my first memories are my mom and dad reading aloud from the Harry Potter books. Later on, I have read all the 7 books in Danish, as well as I have seen the entire film series based on the exact same 7 novels several times. My latest Harry Potter project is to read the 7 novels in English. The Harry Potter books have been translated into numerous languages, and children all over the world have read the books, I'm sure. There are Harry Potter fans almost anywhere, and I cannot imagine any child today who has not heard about the legendary Harry Potter. All this got me thinking that I wanted to work with Harry Potter for my favorite presentation as one of the last projects of our own in English class in high school before it is all over and we move on to our separate lives. So now, what is it that really makes the story of Harry Potter so fascinating? The story is about the young wizard Harry. Being a wizard, Harry Potter is a student at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft. Harry is quite an extraordinary kid. When he was only a tiny baby boy, he survived the encounter with the Dark Lord Voldemort because his parents sacrificed their lives to protect him. The 7 books are dedicated to Harry's story. We follow Harry and his friends from the age of 11 until they leave Hogwarts as teenagers. The story finally ends on the day when Harry and all of his friends are gathered on platform 9 3/4, sending their own children off to Hogwarts. On one hand, we follow the wizard Harry facing the never-ending horrors of Lord Voldemort, but on the other hand, we follow the very ordinary boy, Harry, and his very ordinary day at school together with his friends, dealing with the exact same things as every other boy and girl at this age, going to school, his teachers, homework, classmates, friends, and later on, as teens, boyfriends and girlfriends. One of the great things about the story spreading over 7 books is that no matter who you are, you will always be able to identify yourself with at least one of the many characters. Somewhere along the line, somebody is like you, and the funny thing is that it can both be a good or a bad character. You can even relate to more than one of the characters at the same time. It is exactly as Harry's godfather, Sirius Black, says in one of the books. The world is not divided into good and bad people. Everybody has both a light side and a dark side. It all depends on which part you choose to react on. The Harry Potter books have a third-person narrator. The narrator is always close to the action, but is never directly involved in it. The narrator is also omniscient and seems to have an overview of what is going on, but is not always sharing this knowledge with the reader. In this way, Rowling lets us follow Harry closely when he makes friends with the smart Hermione Granger and the clumsy Ron Weasley. These 3 characters become the core of the story. Their friendship is very close and no one will ever be able to break it. They are the essence of good friends and family. Actually, when you think about it, these 3 friends have quite different personalities, but somehow they always manage to bring out the best in each other. As the story of Harry Potter develops, new characters are introduced. Even though there are hundreds of different characters, every single one of them play a special role in the story. They are all very important in their own way, and each and every one of them contribute to the story of Harry Potter. One character worth mentioning is Professor Severus Snape. Watch out, spoiler alert. He is without any doubt one of the most interesting and remarkable characters in the whole story. Snape is indeed one of the bravest characters, but he doesn't get any credit and he is constantly living in fear of being revealed as the spy he is. He lives quietly in the darkest of darkness without love or friendship. One of the most common questions asked is why Harry names his son after Snape. After all, Snape was Harry's enemy throughout his childhood. By naming one of his sons after this man, Harry honors Snape for the true heroic man he turned out to be. It is a way of showing compassion and forgiveness. By honoring Snape, Harry hopes in his heart that he too will be forgiven. All those who lost their lives in the Battle of Hogwarts will haunt Harry forever. On the other hand, and in clear contrast, I am now going to draw attention to another hero, Professor Albus Dumbledore. Dumbledore is the headmaster of Hogwarts and is said to be the greatest wizard ever to have lived. Until his death at the end of Volume 6, Dumbledore is portrayed as a father figure for Harry. Dumbledore is a man to whom you can confide your deepest secrets. All the same, nobody really knows who he is, or what he's up to, or what he is truly capable of. Everybody would trust Dumbledore with their lives, but nobody is really asking any questions about his motives. In the final book, there's a flashback where Snape says to Dumbledore that he has only raised Harry just so he could die in the right moment, like a pig for slaughter. Dumbledore doesn't even deny this accusation. While I was working on this presentation about the Harry Potter books, I suddenly came to think of our study trip to Scotland last autumn. We visited the Elephant House where Rowling wrote the Harry Potter books. When opening the door to the coffee shop, you immediately sense the atmosphere of the great Arthur, as if she's just sitting there at her favorite table, writing and now and then looking thoughtfully out the window. Even though one could argue that the Harry Potter books and the magical universe are ordinary and trivial, the 7 books still contain a lot of distinctive and quite heartfelt themes. An ordinary young boy who doesn't know where he belongs and has to pass various tests to live happily ever after. It is the usual dilemma of being odd and special. This is also why the books are first and foremost characterized as being children's books. The books work as an amazing motivation for youngsters and a comforting voice that assures you you're not alone. Harry represents the vulnerability and powerlessness that many children might feel. At the same time, the books are written in a normal language without use of academic words or peculiar sentences. All the while, we must not forget that Rowling uses humor and irony as well, which makes the books lighter and much more easy to read. On the contrary, the Harry Potter books also deal with much more serious subjects such as death, religion, and what it means to be human. Surely the big question is what the meaning of life is and how death affects the way we choose to live our lives. Rowling says that one of the most interesting aspects for her is Voldemort's obsession to overcome death and his quest for immortality, regardless of the cost. She says she somehow understands this behavior. We are all very frightened indeed. Furthermore, the books also contain the infinite theme about doing the easy things or doing what is right. We are often tempted to take the easy way out. Several times Harry and his friends could have chosen to run away or just simply ignore their problems, but they always choose to stand up and fight, like real heroes. When it comes to choosing the good rather than the evil, there's an object called the Sorting Hat. The name of each first-year student is read aloud, and the student then takes a seat and the sorting hat is placed on the head of the student. After a short while, the sorting hat announces the choice of the schoolhouse aloud: Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, or Ravenclaw. The sorting hat is to be perceived as a symbol of free will. The sorting hat does not make the choice for you. You make your own choices. The reason why the supernatural things work so fine in the Harry Potter books is because of these realistic themes. Everyone has either experienced something similar in their lives, or maybe thought about it, or have perhaps even have to deal with it themselves. The Harry Potter books are based on the English school system, but could have been any system anywhere in the world. Everybody can relate to this and has experienced the pressure of succeeding themselves. Okay, wrapping up. Last but not least, the above-mentioned discussion made me ask the question, why on earth is the Harry Potter series so incredibly popular? There are written lots of books about magic and teens who want to save the world. Numerous books deal with a supernatural and magical world appealing to our imagination, but it's almost only the Lord of the Rings trilogy from the 1950s that can be compared to this new classic. Both Harry Potter and the Lord of the Rings are some of the finest and greatest fantasy novels ever written. I dare predict it's going to be pretty difficult to follow in the steps of these masters. Anyhow, Harry Potter is a phenomenon everybody knows a great deal about. Both the books and the movies are not just about these scenes and their lives, is about everyone and everything. It touches everything that you have ever known and you will ever know. It's about all that is good and is an incredible motivation for both youngsters and also adults. The story of Harry Potter is the essence of hope, loneliness, and just standing up for what you believe in and the people you love and care about.